Hi, hey, this is my first video blog post rather than doing, a lot of times I do an article and then record it for people who like to listen. And I decided I'm going to see if it works better to just do a PowerPoint video presentation rather than actually writing the article. I think it's going to work out better. So let's see how it goes. All right, hey, so this is Dr. Kaimi Pilipovich, and this is to announce a new Journey Home webinar course about back pain, and I'm calling it Bending Over Backwards because the subtitle here is Becoming a Person Without Back Pain. So as always, I don't look at just managing the symptoms in my practice or in my sessions with clients or in these webinars. I'm always looking at what are the energetic and spiritual roots underneath some kind of condition, because for really lasting change, you have to change at the mind spirit level to really change the nervous system in order to change things. So let me go through some of my ideas on this and talk about this program a little bit. So first off, why back pain? Well, it's the leading disability in the world in terms of people, having to take time off of work or not being able to do work or having to be actually on long-term disability even. Low back pain is the leading cause of disability worldwide. This isn't just one country or another. And I just saw an article in the Lancet, which is a big medical journal, saying, look, it's poorly treated. The way we're treating back pain is not effective. So here's this huge problem that's not being treated effectively by kind of like standard medical treatments. And a lot of it is aggressive treatments that are really, from my point of view, they're trying to manage the symptom, and they're not really needed, and they don't really help. And so by medical or aggressive treatments, what I'm talking about is things like drugs for pain control, injections for steroids to control inflammation, or back surgery. Now, there's probably a place for all of these things, but the point of the article in the Lancet, which I totally agree with, is that these options are used too often, too much, and it's not usually the right choice. And that's a problem, because number one, you're not actually treating the problem, but there's also side effects that go on with this. Painkillers don't speed recovery at all. In fact, prescription painkillers are addictive, and that's a whole problem in and of itself. And at least in the US, opioid addiction is reaching just like absolutely epidemic proportions. So, anything that we can do to limit how many of those drugs are being prescribed is a good thing for people and for society. But I believe that these kinds of prescription drugs that knock out sensation, they slow the recovery, because the nervous system can't be fully aware of what the problem is, and hence direct healing resources to the area if the area has been numbed through medication. So now there's over-the-counter medications, like Tylenol or paracetamol, as they call it in some countries, or ibuprofen or naproxen, which is, Aleve is a brand name for that. All of those things don't treat the problem, and they often create liver or kidney problems, with overuse, right? So that's a problem in and of itself. Natural treatment it's a better step, but there's limits to it. Chiropractic can give relief of acute cases, but it doesn't necessarily treat the cause. A chiropractor can do a great service by adjusting your spine and getting it back into alignment, and that can relieve some pinching that's going on in the spine. But the adjustment itself doesn't necessarily treat the tension patterns that put the back out in the first place. So, that's an issue. But it's a help, and it's not medication. But it's very easy to become dependent on having to get regular adjustments or regular treatments. Hey, massage can offer relief as well. And just to say, I've been a massage therapist for many, many, many years, right? So, but it also rarely treats the cause. So, you know, you're giving symptomatic relief, and then people have to keep coming back for regular massage to treat the symptom of back pain rather than making the back pain go away. Acupuncture gives relief too, and I'm an acupuncturist as well, right? So, and especially in the short term. So, but there's also a real phenomenon where people might be somewhat dependent on getting acupuncture to manage their chi and to manage the muscle tension in order to manage the back pain. But it's not necessarily fixing the deeper roots to it, right? So, and again, with all of these, they're all good. And there's other natural treatments as well. But it's very easy to become dependent on the regular treatments because you're not treating it at the deepest core, right? So now I'm saying this from a place of experience. I've been there really. So first time my back went out to the point where I couldn't get out of bed for days was in my mid-20s, right? And it was really bad. Now, at the time, chiropractic gave me relief. And I thought it was absolutely amazing that I could shuffle in and walk out. That was awesome. Yay, right? So, and it gave me an interest in natural health options. So, but I had to do both basically, right? So I had to keep going back for treatments. Massage helped me. Acupuncture helped me. They helped me so much, you know, I was so fascinated by them that I became a licensed massage therapist and a licensed acupuncture physician. So, you know, I'm a big believer in those things. But at the same time, I recognize the limits, right? So, and for me, I kept having my back go out, and I'm putting that in quotes because it doesn't really go out. It gets into a position of tension and pain that's creating a pattern that's not really out, right? So anyways, several times a year, I would get knocked on my back, literally, right? So, and I would have to take several days off of work each time. And then that was followed by a couple of weeks of having to be careful, right? So careful how I move, careful how I get up, careful how I get out of bed, careful how I lift things, right? So of just having to be overly protective of my fragile back or whatever. I did that for like 10 years, right? So starting in my mid-20s. But I've been mostly pain-free for about 25 years now, all right? Minus, there's been a couple of episodes in 25 years where I've had a bit of back pain. But you know what? Without going into the details, they were both times of extreme stress. And that's, you know, where my body gave out. Now, but I've been mostly pain-free, I'll knock on wood here, for like 25 years, right? I don't have a back problem anymore, despite being older and less fit, which is it's a polite way of saying more fat, right? So all the things that should make my back worse haven't, you know? But what really happened, what worked for me, is that I changed. I started to think of myself differently. And when my attitudes about myself changed, then I was inhabiting my body differently, creating more strength in my spine and less tension in the muscles around it, you know, creating those pain syndromes. I was basically, my mind changed, and it changed how my nervous system was controlling the muscles and the energy flow along my spine, right? So that's what we want to have happen. So, and when I changed who I thought I was, right, that's when I stopped having my back go out, right? I no longer needed to get chiropractic adjustments. And hey, I kept getting massage and acupuncture, but for wellness rather than for treating my back pain, right? Which is so much better to get a massage when you're not in pain, right? Than to wait until you're in massive pain to get one. It's better for you to get it as a proactive thing, and it's a lot more enjoyable, right? So Here's a little insight on how I approach it now. And I've been, in practice with Chinese medicine, been studying Chinese medicine for 29 years now. And it's really what informs how I work with people. And I've worked with lots of people with back pain over the years. But it comes down to, at the core, kidneys and the emotion of fear is what really rules the back. Now, this is from acupuncture theory. The kidney meridian literally goes through the lumbar spine, through the low back, and gives support and strength to the low back. If there's not enough kidney chi to give strength to the low back, then you have a weak back or a painful back, right? So chronic back pain or back pain that recurs on a regular basis means low kidney chi or low kidney energy. So, and ultimately, that is, there's a lifestyle thing that's probably going on there, but underneath the lifestyle thing is fear. Because fear is the emotion that rules the kidneys. And this is not something I've come up with. This is something from thousands of years of Chinese medicine practice and observation over the millennia, really. So ultimately, there's some kind of fear that rules back pain. So if we really want to shift the back, we've got to shift the kidneys. To do that, we have to shift the mind. And, ultimately, where it often comes down to is, what are you afraid of? And let me take that a step further. Are you okay just the way you are? Do you need to improve to be lovable by others, by yourself, or by God, right? To do that. And I say the last thing because I think I was born with a healthy dose of Protestant work ethic. And for years, I still work too hard too much, but because this is a lifetime journey. But when I was in my 20s and early 30s, I think I literally thought God would love me more if I worked harder and I wouldn't take time off to do fun things. I was so serious about being focused on career all the time because I thought I had to be, that anything else was being lazy or slothful or whatever, and I didn't, literally think that God would love me more. But boy, my behavior, it was there really, right? So this is a source of fear that people don't think about, right? We think about being physically afraid of things, but what about our fear of not being good enough? That's a huge thing that factors into lots of diseases, including back pain, right? So shifting the mind is what heals the back. When I changed my mind about who I was and what I was worth in life, I stopped living out of fear. And that's when I realized that I had the aha that I was bending over backwards to do what I was supposed to do in life, including working in a career to make my parents happy rather than doing what I wanted to do, right? So that was a huge thing for me, right? So on to this series that I'm going to do. This is part of what I call the journey home, and I call it the journey home for all these healing webinars because to me, all healing is a journey home. When our mind thinks we are not good enough, right, then we're not living in our heart. We're not living in our truth. We live in emergency mode. Our body becomes tense because we're in fight or flight mode, and we get tired and depleted, and that leads to all kinds of problems, including tight, tired, sore backs. So again, the journey home comes from true healing means changing our mind about who we are. Then the mind directs the nervous system in a more balanced way. And the nervous system then heals the body by giving energy to the maintenance functions of the body and the healing functions of the body. So really, ultimately, all healing is a journey home to honoring true self or being in our heart and where we know that we're divine in nature. That's why I mean self with a capital S. So what I use in my practice and in these healing webinars is a system called Acupuncture. This is a healing system that's based partially on acupuncture theory, but there's a lot of other ideas about the importance of spiritual connection that come into this as well. I developed Acupuncture with my partner, Sarah Simonis, and if you want to find out more about Acupuncture, or about upcoming courses that might be near you, go to www.acunect.com for more information and for a calendar of courses. So the back pain series that I'm doing is going to be 3 webinars, 3 healing sessions, and each webinar includes a bit of information about the energetic and spiritual aspects of back pain, so that I can explore some of the energetic aspects, and then some of the emotional, spiritual things that I find in my practice often underlie that, right? Just as to raise awareness of how those things might resonate with you. Then, also in each webinar, I do an Acupunct energy balancing session for everyone on the course. And so people, Acupunct is something that can be done at a distance, and people really feel these balancings when I'm doing them for the group. It's ended up being a really powerful series for a lot of people. So now I will do all the calls live initially, but they will all be recorded with video for replay. And I do that because not everybody can make a call live, and some people can't make any of them because I have students all over the world and so on. So so some people watch it on the replay and they get the balancing then, and the learning and the information then. And some people, even if they're able to make the live call, they go back and they watch it again. And it's like getting the balancing on another level, because this is a thing that I think a lot of people don't understand about energy balancing. We can only balance so much in a day, but we might do the same balancing again and take it a step further and improve, right? So, hey, if you're interested in this back pain series, then go to drkayeni.com/blog. And to find this post and to sign up for it. All right. So, hey, that's my video for today. And again, hey, if you thought anything was interesting in this video and you liked it, hit the like button so other people might have a chance to find this video, and hit the subscribe button to get future videos. Because I'm going to do more video blogs from now on rather than written blogs. Again, if you want to sign up for the Journey Home Back Pain series, sign up at drkayeni.com/blog. And thank you for joining me.